All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into how a tool that so many developers already know and love, Firebase, is getting a really massive upgrade. We're talking about how it's evolving from just a back-end service into something more like an AI-powered copilot, designed to help you build the absolute next generation of apps.
You know, if you're a developer, you know this feeling. You've got this brilliant idea for an app, but actually getting it from your brain to the App Store, well, it can be such a slog. It's not just about the fun front-end code. It's all that heavy lifting that happens behind the scenes. So what if your development platform could take care of all that for you?
I mean, these are the classic headaches, right? Instead of getting to focus on the user experience, the fun part, you're bogged down with managing servers, worrying about how to scale if you suddenly go viral, and trying to bolt on robust security and user auth. And then, as if that's not enough, someone says you should integrate complex generative AI? It's a lot to jungle. And that is where something called a Backend-as-a-Service, or BaaS, comes into play. Just think of it like a pre-built powerhouse for your backend. It's designed to automate all that complicated server-side work, to handle the cloud infrastructure, and to free you up to do what you actually want to do. Build an amazing-looking app and a fantastic user experience.
And look, for years, Firebase has pretty much been the name in this space for millions of developers. It's always been this incredible toolbox that solves those exact problems. You've got your databases, your authentication, serverless functions, hosting, storage. It even helps with app quality through things like Crashlytics. It just handles the backend so you don't have to.
Okay, so at the heart of it, you've really got two main database choices. There's the original Realtime Database, which is all about pure speed and low latency sync, perfect for things like a live chat feature. And then you have Cloud Firestore, which is its massively scalable big brother, with much richer ways to query your data. It's built for basically any modern mobile or web app you can dream up. But, okay, that classic toolbox, that was really just the beginning. The huge news, and the whole reason we're talking about this today, is that Firebase is getting this radical, game-changing AI upgrade. It's not just a backend anymore. It's becoming an AI-powered copilot for your app.
So, say hello to Firebase AI Logic. This is the new star of the show. The simplest way to think about it is as a direct and really secure bridge from your app straight to Google's most powerful AI models like Gemini. And listen, this is the part that's a total game changer. You can call these models directly from your client-side code. No building, no managing, no paying for a separate backend server just to handle AI calls.
You know, what's really interesting here is that this wasn't some flip of a switch. AI has actually been evolving inside Firebase for years. It started way back with ML-Kit. From there, it grew and eventually became Vertex AI on Firebase, which was the first step in bringing Gemini models directly into apps. And that evolution is continuing, with the platform now expanding into what we call Firebase AI Logic, adding full support for the very latest APIs. Okay, so to really get what makes this so powerful, we need to talk about a concept called function calling. Some people call it tool use. Think about it. An AI model's knowledge is stuck in the past, right? It only knows what it was trained on. Function calling is how you give that AI tools, your own custom functions, so it can reach out to the real world, get live data, or even trigger actions in other systems. So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, it's basically a 5-step conversation. First, you just write a normal function in your app code. Then, you simply describe that function to the AI model. When a user types in a prompt, the model looks at it and thinks, hey, can that function help me answer this? If the answer is yes, it doesn't run the function itself. This is key. Instead, it sends a structured request back to your app runs its own function, gets the result, and then passes that result back to the AI, which uses that new information to craft the final response. All right, let's make this super concrete. Imagine a user asks your app this exact question. The Gemini model has no idea what the answer is. Its knowledge was frozen long before that date. It's completely stuck. And this is where the magic happens. The model sees it can't answer, but it knows you told it about a fetch weather function that can.
So it takes that simple English question, intelligently pulls out the location and the date, and then hands this perfectly structured piece of data back to your app. Your app now has everything it needs to go call a weather API and get the answer. It's brilliant.
Okay, so that is incredibly powerful. But it immediately brings up the number one question every single developer should be asking. Is this secure? How can I possibly trust this system with my app's data, and more importantly, with my users' data? And here's the crucial thing to remember. Firebase was built from the ground up with security at its core. All your data is encrypted, both when it's flying across the internet and when it's just sitting on a server. Google's data centers have, Fort Knox-level physical security. The platform meets global compliance standards like GDPR, and maybe the most important piece for you, the developer, is something called Firebase App Check. It basically locks down your API so that only your verified app can actually make these AI calls, preventing all kinds of abuse.
And look, this isn't just marketing fluff or Google patting itself on the back. Their commitment is actually verified by independent auditors. That number you see, 27,001, that's a huge deal. It's a major international security certification. It's the kind of thing that gives you real peace of mind that you're building their project on a rock-solid, secure foundation.
So when you put all these pieces together, the takeaway is actually really simple. Firebase, with its new AI logic, is genuinely democratizing AI-powered app development. It's taking something that until very recently was incredibly complex and expensive, and it's making it secure, scalable, and truly accessible to any developer out there with a great idea.
Which really just leaves us with one last and honestly pretty exciting question. Now that you have a toolbox this powerful, one that combines a complete backend-as-a-service with Google's most advanced AI, what's that impossible app idea that you're finally going to build?